Welcome to channel 27, guys. I'm so glad you could make it, Deepti, to our next Scorpio session. We were missing you last time, and thanks for coming. You are one of my soul sisters, I like to say. When we met each other, we actually we helped each other through so much stuff. Deepti and I have known each other for 2 years now, and honestly, when I had a lot of problems, Deepti was there, and we used to Skype like 4 hours a day, and no joke. I mean, it was hysterical. So I'm glad you're on here with us. I'm glad you're part of the Scorpio crew here. And why don't you tell everybody how you got into astrology and a little bit about how we met, your side. Can you hear? Uh-oh. Yeah, no headphones. We can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
It's not gonna go away now.
There's always a technical glitch when you're doing something with me. Trust me, it's okay. This is just how it works with me.
Welcome, Deepti.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did. Heidi, that was really sweet of you. Hello, Lola.
How are you?
Nice chatting with you.
So Deepti and I have the same ascendant. We almost have the same chart. I'll never forget, like, when we found each other. Oh my gosh, we had readings from Joni the exact same time. We got into astrology the same exact time. We have the same moon sign in Revati, same ascendant, Mars in Scorpio. We have Venus debilitated in the 11th. Moon is in Pisces in the 5th.
Yeah, moon in the 5th. And
yeah.
Venus Mahadasha running.
And we're both in a, yes, it's pretty crazy.
Wait, what dasha are you guys running?
Sorry?
What dasha?
Venus.
Oh, Venus.
Venus Dasha, both of us. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what's exciting about it is she's running, I think, 2 years ahead of me in terms of Dasha. So most of the times, if there is anything that happens with Heidi, it has to happen with me. In the gap of 10 to 15 days or maybe a month.
Always.
Maybe not the similar things, but somewhat similar things.
Yeah.
Like I would like to, Scorpios like dark and deep stuff. So I would like to come up with something really, I noticed when I connected again with Heidi. So she lost somebody in Feb, someone really close to her. I also lost somebody around the same time, someone who was really close to me and someone who was suffering.
Oh,
yeah.
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 Apart from that, your pizza, I think your oven blew up once.
My what?
You were making pizza and something blew up there.
Oh yeah, the oven, like there was a fire. Literally, the littlest things, like if they happen to me, they happen to her. It's so crazy. Like if I get sick, she gets sick, and it's really nuts. And I have a sister and had a brother. You have a sister and brother. I mean, just like I'm the oldest, she's the oldest. There's just so many crazy things that now, because we live in different cultures, obviously our lives are different, right? But I'll never forget when I met you and I saw when I was on your so how we met, we were on KRS. KRS, it was Valentine's Day, I just had a horrible breakup. I was depressed, sad, like normal.
I was normal.
Yeah. And literally KRS writes, okay, what do you want? What do you want as a video? And I was like, Mars, Uranus, K2 in Scorpio. And Deepti liked it.
What?
Yeah, and she liked the comment, and I was like, interesting.
Wait, what year was that?
February of 2015, was it?
Yes.
15?
Wow.
Yeah.
15 was a tough year. 15.
Oh yeah, we were talking about it, how bad it's been. You heard the last one we did, but Deepti, hasn't it just been crazy for you too?
Oh, ask me about it. So meeting Heidi actually made it easy because I was thinking I'm the only alien going through whatever that I'm going through in my own head. Yeah. And then I was devastated, to be honest. Saying I was depressed would be an understatement.
Yeah.
So So I really went on Kiara's channel and I liked her comment there. And after that, I said, God, can I have like a sister friend? Can I have like a soul friend? Maybe I can talk my kid out with. And that happened, Heidi messaged me, I messaged Heidi, we started messaging each other. I think within 10 minutes time, we started talking. And then we had this conversation about how things are similar between us. I think we immediately saw each other's charts.
Yeah, we Skyped too, remember? And it was just like, and I remember looking and seeing you like animals, and you were like all about the strays, helping the strays, and I love animals. So just because our moon's in Revati, and there was just so many similar things. It was just absolute, and we talked about how screwed up our relationships used to be and how they are and how that's always fun. And Deepti certainly is not like every normal person in India, every woman. She's definitely one of a kind, right?
For sure. I don't know, one of a kind or, an alien around. I feel more like an alien,
Yeah, but you know what? You're just your own person, which is awesome. And I think that's like something as, us as we all have that. We're our own independent
people. That's what I figured out with astrology.
Karmic sign, Scorpio, right?
Yeah.
Very karmic. The Scorpio ascendant. Did you guys know that Kim Kardashian is a Scorpio ascendant?
Really?
Princess Diana.
I didn't know Kim Kardashian was.
Yeah.
But that would make sense for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think she comes off, I don't know.
She's, but I don't know do we have her birth certificate? Because I was looking for it one day.
Yeah, well, I definitely checked. One of the astrologers had a video on her and
interesting.
Ascendant, yeah.
So now Deepti too, another thing like I think is just, I mean, you're since you live in India, you are like, Vedic astrology is no secret in India, right? I mean, that's obviously, so you are around it 24/7. And I think it's funny because all of us get readings and, all of that. But you and I have had readings from every single person at almost the exact same time. Even if we're not talking in communication, this is how weird it is. I get a reading from somebody and then we regroup. She got a reading from that person at that like exact same time.
Wow.
It's like that weird. Astra Sharmista, Michael Reed, might as well just say them because they're all great astrologers. Joni, obviously, and we can't say what, but Joni did, remember what prediction, we're not going to say what and we're not going to get into it, but there was something that Joni correlated to us, both of us.
Yeah.
And it was, we're not going to say it on air, but it was what she said and what happened and how it played out was insane. All I can say is it gives me chills every time I think about it. And it really was like, and that's one of the things that kind of brought us like together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Who would you recommend if I should go to one astrologer? Like
depends what you want, I think.
Who would you recommend?
I just think everybody has their own things, and it really is, there's so many good ones, I would say.
Because I only went to Joni Petrie, and she was dead on with everything. I mean,
yeah, she made me not think I was going to die anymore. Right? Yeah, I was scared. I even had my first reading was a KP reading. So.
Which didn't go well. I remember
Which did not go well at all. Yeah, not at all. And then Deepti, remember, it's funny because, I always say like sometimes a lot of astrologers can be very negative, especially some of the ones from in India, they can just come off like, remember when you called me and you said, it was 4 or 5 in the morning, you're like, Heidi, I need you to read my boss or whoever's chart. Remember that? You're like, somebody told him he's gonna have a heart attack and he's gonna leave his wife. I need you to have a reading. I gave him this. Remember that?
She gave him a nice reading, and I think he felt okay after that.
Exactly. Is he alive?
He is. Yes, he's very much alive.
Good. Did he have a heart attack?
No, he didn't. So that's what happened. Most of the Indian astrologers, they get into, they make it a big science. They make it more like a secret science that nobody else is supposed to know it apart from them. So I don't know if they do this purposely, because I think every person has like a good intention to do whatever they're doing.
I agree.
And I believe it's a lack of knowledge, which basically lack of knowledge and lack of compassion that makes them speak in a certain manner. And most of the Indian astrologers go out giving negative, predictions. And that's when everything goes wrong with people. So this friend of mine I used to work with, once he got a reading from somebody and he got panicked. He said, okay, I'm going to get a heart attack this September. I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. So he said, so we were in July, and he said, I'm going to get a heart attack this September because an astrologer has predicted it. So I said, okay, let's do one thing. I have this friend called Heidi, and she and we both discuss astrology. I saw his chart. I told him it's not going to, I don't know. For sure, it may not happen. It won't happen. But he didn't believe me. So I made sure that so I called Heidi. I had the hell out of her. And she basically spoke to him for about 10, 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. And she explained to him how he's not going to die. And that was explained scientifically really well. I remember that.
I wasn't even that good at astrology then.
Yeah.
I wasn't even that good. But here's the thing.
Heidi, you're so good. I mean, the chart reading you did for me and the guy I'm dating, unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm pretty good with compatibility, I think.
Yes. Well, and you know what?
Yeah, even though I suck in relationships, I'm pretty good at giving advice about them because I'm so bad in them.
Yeah, but we know that, expectation is the root of all heartache. So, it's letting go of perceptions and illusions and just knowing that letting go of that control, because we can't control anything.
Yeah. I think it's so crazy that all three of us, though, we're all from different countries. Because you were born in Serbia. How long did you live in Serbia?
I moved to the U.S. when I was 9 years old.
9.
I lived in a basement with my parents for 2 years. We were so poor. My parents worked 3 jobs. I never saw them. I took myself to school practically, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Land of opportunity,
Yeah. And that's your chart. I swear. I think she does so successful here is because she has K2 in the 1st and all those planets in the 12th, and because she lives in the United States. And her, and even you said when you would do work, and Deepti is a phenomenal producer, does all, I don't even know all the terms she does. Say what you do, because she's in behind the scenes of the, I don't want to say entertainment industry. That sounds weird too.
Advertising. So I'm a filmmaker. I make films, and films.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's awesome at it.
Yeah.
We all have different things, but we're all obsessed with astrology.
Obsessed. Yeah, that's when I come home from work.
That goes without saying.
That's all I want to do, study astrology, and that's all I do. And when people call me, I'm like, sorry, I'm busy.
Yeah. It's crazy. And literally, Deepti and I would just talk. I mean, just when we were going through rough times, because we've both had a lot of crazy things happen, and we would just Skype, and it would make me feel better that I could just talk to somebody about astrology. And we would look up the charts, we'd pull up everybody's charts, and we'd study them. Deepti is a phenomenal astrologer as well. I mean, let's be honest. You are on the same level as me for sure. Probably even better.
I'm not as good as you, because
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, Heidi, you're
more scientific.
I would say Heidi is scientific, and she's also psychic, with that K2 in the first house.
You have that intuition.
Yeah, exactly.
But all Scorpios have it. You can't
ask me about it. There are so many.
Feel things before they happen.
Exactly, all the time. My pet passed away in Feb. He passed away on the 14th of Feb, and I knew it from 10th of Feb. I just could say, I just knew something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
it was as if it was, and also with that Venus in Virgo,
Yeah.
Heidi, I don't know if you must have definitely experienced this. With that Venus in Virgo, you're always in your own head because we are Scorpio ascendants and we have that Venus in Virgo. Maybe we always get this choice to make. Do you want this to go or that to go? Something like that happened with me. I'm sure it happens with you as well, Heidi.
Always, yeah.
And then I choose like, okay, fine, this can go, and that goes, man. And I think, okay, maybe I was thinking all this while I was thinking it in my head. I wasn't really thinking of this really happening the way it has happened. But then it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Well, and you have Venus in your first with P.2, so she's got that same thing in a way, right?
100% with that Venus and P.2. Oh my God.
The most recent psychic moment I had was I like to kind of drive fast and speed when I'm driving alone. I don't know what it is, but I get off on it.
Yeah.
And
funny.
I wouldn't hurt anyone, but it's just something I like to do alone.
You like to speed.
Yeah. I was going down the one-way street. There were cars parked, and I was like the only car in, right in the middle. And I was speeding totally on this little street. And I'm like, my God, I need to slow down because a car might just come out of nowhere and come the wrong, direction.
Yeah.
Car, literally, I slowed down completely. So weird. The car just churned, and I would have totally slammed into him on a one-way street toward me. And I was like, Jesus. And things like this just happen. So definitely the Scorpio. Yeah.
100%. Also that Venus and Ketu in Scorpio.
Tell her what you say about that.
Me?
Yeah, no, I want Deepti to say to Lola, what are your thoughts on K2 and Scorpio? Because, I have K2 Mars, so.
Yeah.
You can see how we're totally different with that one little planet, right?
Yeah.
With that Venus and Mars, the difference comes from there, I think. Ketu in Scorpio. So they say that Ketu is headless, and because they say Ketu is headless, we try to make some head out of Ketu when Ketu is in the first house is what I really think. We're always trying to, they say that in usual cases, they say that they're trying to find an identity with Ketu in the first house.
Heidi.
Always.
But when you have Ketu in Scorpio, it's in its, he's exalted there. It's his own house. I don't know about exalted, not exalted, but at least
he's content.
Yeah,
he's content.
Totally.
He's not too pissed off. Let's leave it at that.
Correct.
Not
He's not too pissed off. So
Yeah.
he's got certain identity about himself. And because it's Scorpio, that identity is hidden.
Yeah.
And at times it's hidden from you guys. You yourself can't figure that identity out at times, but then you know it.
Yes.
You know what can piss you off. You know what can,
Honestly, God, that's exactly what it is. Because until I found astrology, I will say that I would be like, what is wrong with me? Like, who am I? What kind of monster am I? I would be like, why am I? Oh, hi, baby.
Why am I feeling this way?
Hi. Oh.
Go on, Heidi. Sorry.
Oh. Deepti always has her dogs. Did he stop coughing? Or was
Yes.
that? Yeah.
That's another one. That's Momo.
Yeah.
Heidi, sorry.
Yeah, but I would always be like, I would start something, I would like it, or I would start dating somebody and it would be great. And then I would be like, all right, yeah, this isn't what's going on here, and I would be, all right, this is not
because
working.
you're home with yourself. You're so happy with yourself. You can't get enough of your own self.
True.
Well, then I find astrology, game changer. K2 is happy as can be. I swear to God, the more I do astrology, the happier I am at work.
Totally.
The happier I am at everything else. Like, if I could do astrology, but the minute I stop doing astrology, back
You
to the
feel
same.
like there's a void. Right away, you feel an emptiness when you're not connected to the planets and studying and learning and growing, expanding our consciousness.
Yeah. I just think it's amazing. that we're all Scorpios, and I love it.
Yeah.
Did you see? And everybody, you know what? Why don't we should go through the signs and what we think about each sign, because everybody keeps saying, oh, I can't wait till you do a Gemini one or an Aries one and stuff. So honestly, like,
you want to do that? It puts piss some people off.
No, well, because everybody, let's say like a couple words about each ascendant. That's easy. We're all on that love. We can say a couple words about each one. Don't you think?
Yeah. Let's start with Lola.
No. I'll start like Aries. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
We could say 5 words about each ascendant, because I don't know 5 Aries to do a show like this, or 5 Tauruses. I don't barely know any Tauruses, to be honest.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so Aries, I would say action, like go-getter. That's one.
Short-tempered.
Yeah. Speeder, they drive fast.
Usually attractive. They're
Athletic,
attractive.
definitely athletic, I've noticed. And they sometimes, depending on which nakshatra, sometimes they can like music, or they can be really into sports or lifting weights.
Competitive. Very competitive.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. A little like too much at times. Like
Yeah.
down, like
extremes with everything. Everything's extreme.
right.
Yeah.
And definitely I think that